Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, and we're gonna have some fighting words. So, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it already. It's on Instagram. It's kind of in a few different places as well. There's Bernard Hopkins speaking with Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, and he's telling him you have to be a serial stalker to get Canelo's attention. If you remember my last video, that's what I said. You got the man's attention. You got to keep going. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be an uphill battle. So I look back at the press conference so that I can make this video and I can be clear about some things. If you listen to Canelo, first he said, well, you fight nobody. That tells me you know who's been fighting. I'm not saying they're great opponents, but you apparently are aware of who he has been fighting. You see, Canelo also said that Boo Boo was not a good fighter. He said that he sucked. Okay. I don't believe that. I don't believe he thinks that. I really don't believe that. If that's what you think, and you know you can make a quick buck, it's Canelo. A few million bucks. Why not take an easy fight? I mean, you fought Gilgram, you fought Calvin Smith. Why not take an easy fight? You say that Boo Boo fought nobody, and you also say that Boo Boo sucks. But if you remember, Boo Boo was going to fight Billy Joe Saunders before he got hit with some things in his system that probably should not have been there. And at the time, Billy Joe Saunders, again, he hadn't fought Canelo yet. He was undefeated. Canelo thought Billy Joe Saunders was an okay opponent, a very worthy and reputable opponent. Well, that worthy and reputable opponent was going to fight Boo Boo. So if you say that he's nobody, then that means you just fought nobody. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So when I look at this, honestly, the first thing I thought was, number one, I was very happy that he was getting that counsel from Bernard Hopkins, because of all people to give that speech, who better? I mean, the only person probably better would be Marvin Hagler as he chased around Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, he's probably, I mean, heck, that is a part of boxing. Chasing the fight. That's a part of boxing. How many people have been calling out Manny Pacquiao in the last 3 years? Everybody wants that fight. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, he got it now. Sean Porter, everybody's been chasing that fight. That's a money fight, so everybody wants it. That's what you do in boxing. This is called prize fighting. That's what you do. You chase the fight. You believe there's no fighter who believes another fighter is better than him. So you chase the fight. Floyd Mayweather did it. He was chasing Oscar De La Hoya. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's weird for Canelo to say that, because he was once an up-and-coming fighter, fighting on people's undercards. And for him to treat him like, well, you're nobody, and why should I fight you? But that's how you get on. You fight. The up-and-coming guy fights the guy. That's how it works. That's literally how it works. When you were a kid, when you played King of the Castle, well, you gotta climb up the mountain to knock down the king, and now you're the king of the castle. It's literally the same thing. That's how it works. So it's perfect for Bernard Hopkins to say that. You know, I think it was 96, 97, when Bernard Hopkins was arguing with Roy Jones, and he was begging for a fight. And Roy Jones was like, 60-40, 60-40, I'll kick your butt. 60-40, I'll kick your butt. And Bernard's like, no, give me 50-50. You know, I've proven myself. I'm the man at this division. Why do I have to take less? And he fought his way up. He did it the hard way. He fought everybody. That's how he did it. He climbed his way up. He certainly didn't get to where he was because of his popularity. People couldn't stand the guy. And a lot of people said he had a boring style. No, it was because he fought his way up. He earned his stripes. And sometimes you have to rattle people's cages. You look at Shannon Briggs, and let's let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Vladimir's like, who is this guy? Why doesn't he just leave me alone? You have to rattle the cage. That's how this game works. Nobody's going to give you a free meal. Not in this game. Nobody's giving you a free meal. In terms of sports, what separates combat from basketball, at some point, the Knicks will play the Celtics. At some point. It's just going to happen. It's in the rotation. In boxing and prize fighting, I do not have to fight you. If I don't like you, if I don't like your face, if I don't like the state you were born in, if I don't like your mom, your dad, if I don't like your favorite color, I don't have to fight you. It doesn't matter that you beat everybody else. And you beat number 2, you beat number 3, it doesn't matter. I don't like you. I'm not going to give you a chance. I'm not going to give you an opportunity. And this game is all about popularity. And the most popular guy gets his say-so at all times. And then there's the other guy who fights, who scrapes, who fights for it. So I hope Boo Boo sees this video. I truly hope you see this video. Do not give up. Keep going. Keep pressing forward. It's not going to be comfortable. Like Bernard Hopkins said, you're going to have to get kicked out of a few press conferences. You're going to have to. You're going to have to. And this should be nothing new to Boo Boo. He did it to the Charlos. He literally did it to the Charlos. It's almost like Boo Boo is that guy where it's just like, we know you're there, but we're going to act like you're not there. It's a question of how bad do you want it? Because now you got to, like, you've tried knocking on the door. And Charlos are not going to give you a fight. Canelo said he's not giving you a fight. All these people are not going to give you a fight. Triple G is not going to give you a fight. He never responds to you. He doesn't respond to anybody. Unless you make it uncomfortable for them. Unless you start showing up to their press conferences. Unless you rush the ring after they win a fight. Win or lose, well, obviously they win a fight. You rush the ring and you jump in there. You make yourself known. You make it so that the people are like, who is that guy? Oh, that's Boo Boo Andrade. That's what they're going to do. You're going to make yourself known almost like in a Jake Paul type YouTuber fashion where you're just like always popping up. You're just always popping up. So Boo Boo has this thing where before he starts to talk or does any speeches, he says, it's me again. Literally, you're going to have to live, it's me again. Like, everywhere. I don't care if Canelo goes to dinner. He just got married. Congratulations, Canelo, on getting married. But you show up at the wedding. Like, you got to do whatever you got to do. Show up at the wedding. Do whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. Show up at his gym. Do whatever you got to do. When Muhammad Ali was looking for a fight with Sonny Liston, he showed up at the man's house. He showed up at the man's gym. He showed up at the man's house. He showed up at a restaurant one time. He showed up at a casino. He just kept popping up until he got what he wanted. You need to do that. You need to continue to pop up until you get what you want. If you have a fight with someone else, like I said in my last video, you can train for this person, but talk about this person. Talk about your goal. This person is where you live right now. I'm going to fight letter X. I want Canelo. You can respect letter X, but if you have a 10-minute interview with a camera in your face, out of that 10 minutes, at least 9 needs to be directed toward Canelo. Make every line you can about Canelo. If you could, learn a little Spanish. Make sure he gets the message. Say it in his language. Have someone around you to interpret. Whatever you have to do, do it. Now, one more thing about this video with Bernard Hopkins when he's talking to Boo Boo Andrade. It did seem a little suspect that he was saying that to Boo Boo Andrade because Canelo used to work with your company, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And Canelo left Golden Boy and sued Golden Boy. And I know you and Canelo had like a good relationship. I've seen many videos with the two just interacting. You can tell that they have a really, or at least in the moment, had a great relationship. It's funny to me that you're telling Boo Boo, hey, be a serial stalker about the guy who sued your company. So in a weird way, it almost sounds like Bernard is saying, listen, I can't put my hands on him. I'm retired. But you can do it for us. You can get some revenge from me and Oscar. You can do that. He sued the company, and he talked bad about us. You can go and get some vengeance for us. If you can get your hands on him, if you can get him in the ring, I don't know. We would get a little satisfaction out of that. That's kind of how it came off. I hope that wasn't his intention, but I gotta tell you, it looked a little suspect, like just a little suspect. You know, that I'm gonna give you the keys to get your hands on that guy who used to work for me and then sued us. You know, so it was a little suspect. I'm not mad at the advice. It was actually really good advice. I was saying it before the video actually came out. So it's a really good advice, actually. You know, just to be aggressive. You know, the beautiful thing about today, 2021, we have social media. You don't have to wait for a press conference. You have this beautiful thing called Instagram and Twitter, you know, where you can just call these guys out non-stop. You don't have to wait for ESPN to get in front of your face or something like that, or some major reporter. You can do it yourself. That's the beautiful thing about it. He will see. That's the beautiful thing about it. He can't avoid you. If you press hard enough, he cannot avoid you. If you continue to win in the interim, and you continue to call him out, there will literally be nowhere for this guy to run. Because his only argument is, you haven't fought anyone. And I don't think you're a great fighter. That's your only argument. Well, if you continue fighting and beating people, you can dispel both of those myths. Well, you say I haven't fought anybody, but I fought everybody who was placed in front of me, and I actually won. I was victorious in all those matches. You say that I'm not a good fighter, but I won all those matches. So what you're saying is just your opinion. That's not the consensus of the masses. That wasn't the consensus of the judges. I won. Whether you like it or not, I won. The referee raised my hand, not the other guy's hands. It really doesn't matter what you think. Now the pressure's on you. What are you going to do? Right now, Boo-Boo, I'm asking you, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep pressing him? That's the only way you're going to get a shot at this table. That's literally the only way you're going to get a shot at this table, is if you keep pressing. That's it. Muhammad Ali did it. You know, Marvin Hagler had to do it. Floyd Mayweather did it. Now it's your turn. They all showed how much they wanted it. They all showed how much they believed that they were like the legit top of the top. Creme de la creme. That's what you do when you believe you're the man. You're the guy. That's what you do. That's what you do. You call him out, and you're relentless in your calling out of whoever has that belt. Whoever has it. If it's Charlo, go after him. If it's Canelo, go after him. If it's Triple G, go after him. Believe me, they're not, them giving you the silent treatment is an answer. And it's their way of coping. You're naturally a verbal person. Use your natural gifts to get where you want to go. So that's just my thoughts on it. I am actually proud of Bernard Hopkins. You know, older generation dropping some knowledge down to a younger generation. And I'm also proud of Boo Boo because, you know, if you looked at his Instagram, he's really been doing these little videos with Canelo with the whole Rocky bit and everything. And they're pretty funny as well, so they're definitely gaining some traction. Use your comedy bit. You know, Boo Boo has a heck of a personality, and honestly, let it show. I think you're going to gain a fan base, and I think if the fan base grows big enough, he can't help but see it and feel it. Feel the tension. Feel the people's want for this fight. And again, just keep winning. You will dispel both those myths. You haven't fought anybody, and you're not a good fighter. Just keep winning. That will literally answer dispel those two myths right there. But you all tell me what you think down below, and as always, please like and subscribe.